Hey all, welcome to ShareTreck. This is Raj here, friends. Today the futures are looking pretty bright. Both S&P 500 futures and Nasdaq futures are looking pretty good. But I'm thinking that much of a market commentary is not necessary because honestly, there are contrary news. Now, let me just quickly show you some of the news items today and how I look at them. So we have the news item out here, which says autonomous EV trucking company Android going public in SPAC deal valuing at 1.8 billion. Remember, there was great fanfare a long time ago when Tesla showed us a model of a semi-truck that was supposed to do autonomous driving across the country, range of around 800 kilometers or something. So we have not seen mass production of that. We don't see them on the streets as yet, but we have competition building up. So I've checked out, there are around 6 competing companies which are working on autonomous semi-trucks, and one of them has got this SPAC deal worth 1.8 billion. So that area, like Tesla itself, I think it's looking very interesting to me given the high valuations at this point of time, which allegedly is based on robotics and AI. So I would consider an automated truck to be a combination of both robotics and AI, and Tesla is not delivering out there. So we'll see what happens with the stock. Now, if you look at the AI sector, right, this is where I was very struck by what I saw here. CoreWeave CEO won't say if Core Scientific caused data center delays, both stocks plunge. Now, CoreWeave is a company in which NVDA itself has invested and has given sweetheart deals to CoreWeave, right? Then we have the positive one, which says NVIDIA supplier Foxconn third quarter profit beats expectation, rising 17% on AI demand. Till date, I was always thinking Foxconn was a Apple supplier, but now labeling it as an NVIDIA supplier and recognizing the NVIDIA component of their business will increase the stock price for Foxconn. There is another piece of information out here which says AMD's Lisa Su sees 35% annual sales growth demand by insatiable AI demand. Now, all this demand is going towards building data centers. So if you build so many data centers, then you have to compete for the clients. And when you compete for the clients, your ability to charge is going to be severely compromised. It's a race to the bottom. So many of these data centers are going to go broke. Some of them will be doing gangbusters. They will be the ones that would have been able to garner the market. And that's what I think that's what I think has been seen by SoftBank, because elsewhere I had seen a news article that said SoftBank shares drop 10% on news of selling all of their NVIDIA stake. So let me find that for you. SoftBank shares plunge as much as 10% after selling NVIDIA stake. And at the same time, we have news out here that SoftBank goes all in on OpenAI as big short investors issues caution on AI. So they are actually going into the business case for AI. They are moved out of the GPU. Now, when the retail investor comes to the same conclusion that GPU has had its day and now it is time for the actual applications, and unless the applications take off, the data centers won't be revenue generating. They will be at a discount. And the applications right now are at the most LLMs, and they are charging maybe $20 a month, and they may have maybe a few billion users, I suppose. That doesn't kind of give justification to the amount of investments made. $20 billion is the revenue for OpenAI, and it's looking at trillions of dollars of investments. So there's some kind of a mismatch, and a retail investor should not be caught into this. But unfortunately, because so much of money has gone into AI, the contagion effect is going to push everything down when it happens. So one has to be absolutely careful. And that's where I think that I am seeing gold performing very well alongside stocks. So let's go into the futures, and I'll show you the price of gold is continuing to stay strong and stable. It did not fall below this support of 3961.64. It didn't confirm below this. It just stayed above it. and it's now trying to cross above the parallel channel. And this happening while dollar index is getting stronger. This is a very rare thing to do, and that means there's a significant portion of investors who have clearly recognized that there's a huge bubble going on out here, and they want to be in real asset like gold, not a real asset like stock. So they are moving out from that, but the retail investor is still in the position of buy the dip. And as long as that happens, S&P 500 is going to keep on going up. And as you can see, the S&P 500 futures, it's up today, 0.36% up, and it is approaching a resistance, key resistance that we have faced in the past. This resistance is at around 6,929.25 and or 6,927, something in that range. We have not been able to cross this all the way from 28th of October 2025, and even if we momentarily crossed it, we were pushed back down. So it will be interesting to see if we get pushed down from here, because we have confirmed this resistance. And if we get pushed down, we have two supports, and the first support for today is going to be at around 6,836. You look at market sentiment, it is bearish. MACD is also bearish. Momentum is above average but flat. So there is a little bit of thinking going on out there about how durable this resurgence is. Nasdaq also has been inching up slowly and steadily, but it's still under the spell of this topping tail, in my opinion. So we are still bearish. Market sentiment is bearish. MACD is also bearish, and momentum is above average. So today we'll see what happens as the market opens, but it will get support today at around 25,221.75. That is the ultimate support, and it could have some kind of a resistance around 26,109. Good morning, Inf. Thanks for joining. Thanks for joining, Inf. Yeah. So then we have gold, as I mentioned. I think I would like to see gold stabilize above and confirm this diagonal line of support. Yesterday we already broke out, and today we are just on top of this. So if we close above this and if we confirm the diagonal line of support, then I would do a little more dollar cost averaging purchase of gold. And if you look at put call ratio, it is mildly bullish. Yesterday it was almost neutral. So let's go on to have a look at indicators themselves and put some floor and ceilings today. So I'm thinking that as far as S&P 500 is concerned, since we have seen a little bit of, can we also see bonds, US 10-year or something like TLT and Netflix, please? Okay, let us do that as well. TLT is out here. I'll check out TLT before we go. So S&P 500, I think it's likely to open above 6,873. Let us go and just have a look at futures where it is right now. 6895 is where it is right now. 6895. So it's definitely likely to open above this diagonal line of resistance of this parallel channel. The question then would be, can it confirm? So I would say that for today, S&P 500 will have support at 6,873, and it would get resistance at 6,959.56. And it has got bearish market sentiment. It's got MACD, which is bearish, but it's trying to improve out here. Momentum is above average, but it's a bit flat. And we should have a whole lot of economic data, and we are not getting those economic data. Each one of them is actually a blank, and therefore I think that the market is flying blind. Everything is going based on sentiments. That's why I think the market sentiment does not match the momentum. So market sentiment is bearish, but the retail investor momentum is pretty high in whichever counter that you take. Now Nasdaq also likewise, I think it's going to have a resistance today at 25,858, and I think our support is going to be out here, which is around 25,211.13. And I'm going to remove all the extraneous lines that we don't need. These are all the past targets which have been met. I'm going to remove this line as well. So that's all we got here. Market sentiment bearish, MACD bearish, momentum above average but dropping. Now QQQ will give you a clear hint of what's happening. Market is likely to open up 0.64%. That's what QQQ is suggesting, and therefore resistance for today is going to be around 629.28 for QQQ, and I would peg the support somewhere around 613.62. That does not mean that today QQQ could fall to 613.84. It could fall much less, but I'm saying that the ultimate backstop is at 614.28. Sorry, let me open this up. 613.42 is the ultimate support, and it can fall up to that level. Again, everything is negative out here except the momentum. Now, let us look at TLT. If you look at TLT, I think as the value of TLT goes up, the yields will start going down. Now, we are seeing here that the TLT has been falling. That means yields have been going up, and of late we have been consolidating in an area out here, which I would consider to be a bearish pennant, because if I was to look at the structure out here, this to me is a bear flagpole, and what we have out here is a bearish pennant. Let me just mark it out here, and so this is a bearish pennant that I'm seeing. It seems that we have broken out of this, but we'll have to confirm above this diagonal line of support. And if we confirm above the diagonal line of support, that does not mean that the TLT is starting to go up. It means that TLT can officially come down as long as it stays above this diagonal line of support. So first of all, for today, we need to close above this diagonal line of support. That is the first step. The second step is that tomorrow we have to close above the opening that we had out here. If that happens, then I think we can say that the TLT will continue to move up and the yields will start falling. So that's how I'm looking at it. If you guys have any thoughts about it, please let me know. Next, let's go on to have a look at AI. And before I forget, first let me do Netflix so that Inf gets what he wants. So Netflix had a huge gap down. Now this is looking very close to a double bottom. So I'm going to assume this to be a double bottom. And it's slightly tilted double bottom, but I'm just going to assume it's a double bottom. And assuming that it's a double bottom, then I get a neckline at here. And if I pull this out and place it on top here, that would mean that Netflix can go all the way up to 1183.73. Now, this is what I think could happen. And it is supported by the fact that the bearish market sentiment is moving towards neutral. MACD has already turned bullish. Momentum is just below average. So what happens today could potentially help us determine whether this target is going to be real or not. So if we end up with a green candle and if we go up and we also have momentum going above average, I would say that 2 out of 3 factors are in favor of Netflix going up. Again, personal opinion and not financial advice. So just be careful how you use this information. Do your own analysis. Now, I have NVDA, which is up 1.48% in pre-market trades. I do not see any new pattern coming up here, but I still have this gap up that needs to be filled up. Yesterday also we opened up higher and then we came down. So are we going to create another red candle today? It all depends on the overall market sentiment. There have been a lot of bullish news for the GPU sector and the AI sector. Considering all that news, 1.45 in my opinion is a little bit anemic. We should have had a much higher jump in the pre-market. So I'm of the opinion that probably we'll see a red candle again today. That doesn't mean that we are going to drop all the way to the support of 185.71, but it could mean that we could drop at least up to 188.18 if the market decides that AI sector is overheated. Meta is up 0.39%, but I think Meta is overall bearish. We are in a bear flagpole and we are trying to create some kind of a bearish pennant out here. So it's not looking great to me. What might be happening could be a little bit of dead cat bounce happening, which could end up with a consolidation. I always think that to get out of the very bottom of the MACD, momentum and market sentiment, you need to consolidate, allow market sentiment to come to neutral and MACD to become bullish, and then that consolidation builds a foundation, and then you start having bullish patterns and moving upwards. So we are not yet there for Meta. Google is up 0.62%. Google is looking pretty good to me. I put a bull flag pattern out here where I'm thinking that it has a target of 306.72. That is my target for Google. And today it's up 0.62%. Everything is going for Google, including plenty of room on the RSI to move up. Amazon is up 0.91% in pre-market trades. And this is a huge bull flag, but there is a gap up which needs to be filled up sooner rather than later. Given the fact that MACD is bullish, market sentiment is bullish, and momentum is also above average, I'm thinking that probably we are looking at a breakout for a bullish pattern. So let us say this is the bull flag. And then let us draw out a pattern out here. So if we open above this today, then I'm thinking that, oh, wait a second, we have another one here. So I'll just adjust this. So if we break out above this, then I think we can have a target up here, but I'm going to keep it as it is right now. I think there's good chance that Amazon will continue to go up because all the sentiments are positive. And then let's go on to Apple. It's up 0.16% in pre-market trades, and I think it will get a resistance at around 277.26. That could potentially create a double top, and if we don't break out above that and continue, I think we'll have to take the double top seriously if it comes to a trigger point, and the trigger point would be somewhere around 267.46. None of that has happened, so we'll have to wait and watch how the candles evolve. Microsoft is up 0.40%, and it will get a resistance at around 514.88. It will have a support at 498.49. Overall market sentiment is bearish, MACD is bearish, and momentum is below average. So today's movement is going to add to a little bit of extra momentum, but it will still remain below average. We have the dividends coming up, 91 cents on the 20th of November. We are right now at 12th of November. So maybe the need to collect dividend would prevent further selling, and that can help consolidate and improve. But right now, Microsoft is not looking that great. Tesla is up 0.64%. And hi, Hot Dog, thanks for joining. Tesla is up 0.64% in pre-market trades. Friends, look at this out here. Market sentiment is bearish. MACD is bearish. Momentum is just at average. And we have news that they have lost market share in China, and we have their earnings, EPS, which is down 10.42%. And also we have competition, as I showed you in the news articles. A new EV company has got a SPAC funding of $1.8 billion to come up with autonomous semi-trucks. And we had Tesla launch those autonomous semi-trucks with a lot of fanfare quite a while ago. I'm not seeing too many of them. I don't know if you guys are seeing them anywhere. At least I'm not seeing. Maybe Canada didn't get any, but I have not seen any of them so far. So there is competition coming up, and I did a little bit of digging. There are 6 companies which are working on autonomous EV semis. And if that is the case, then just like in the EV automobile sector, Tesla is starting to lose initiative there as well. Now, if I was to consider autonomous vehicle as something which is robotics and AI mix, which is why Tesla is valued so highly, I think that Tesla is overvalued because its autonomous driving is not being used as much. The full self-driving is used by about 12% of its US fleet. Recent tests showed FSD fell short of performance goals, indicating a need for improvements. And they have been at FSD for ages, right? And now I also hear news that they are going to give competition to Hertz by putting their new cars into rentals. Now that is a sign of desperation for me. So when is Tesla going to show its real value, right? And Elon Musk has been given $1 trillion pay package. So where are they going to generate those profits so that after paying Elon Musk, there is something left for the investors and something left to invest in R&D and technology? I think the board of directors of Tesla is in the pockets of Elon Musk, and they are not doing their fiduciary duties. Yeah, they can go 800 kilometers, I think. And they need 1.4 kilowatts per kilometer or something like that. I don't know the exact stats. But we have this double top forming, and I'm watching this, and I don't trust this 0.57. There is some fanboy club or something that is happening which is distorting the market sentiment, which is distorting the technical. And if you look at the volumes out here, I think the volumes are starting to drop a little bit. So we'll see what happens. There is a gap up also which needs to be filled up. Support is there at 419.60, and this support is basically going to be the first level of support. And then we have the trigger point for the double top, which I have pegged at 412.27. So if we fall below this, then we're going to have a good fall. So that's what I'm thinking. Oracle is up 0.54%. As I mentioned, it is coming very close. It's like a serpent twining around a pole. So it's going around this diagonal line of resistance, and I think it will keep on coming down until it gets the first support, which is a variable support. With every passing day it goes up, and I think the closest it comes to the diagonal is 227.27. So Oracle will continue to move in this direction. It's moving downwards. AMD is up 6.24% thanks to the huge article that we have out here, where Lisa Su is saying that they are seeing 35% increase. Where is that article? AMD's Lisa Su sees 35% annual sales growth driven by insatiable AI demand. To the best of my knowledge, I have seen more of NVDA GPUs going into AI data centers. So the OpenAI commitment, I think it's making a double dip out here. The OpenAI commitment in the deal that Lisa Su made with OpenAI, where they are going to give them warrants, and OpenAI would buy AMD chips. Maybe this 35% insatiable demand is that demand. So we won't know, because as retail investors, we don't have all that information. But I really have a spidey sense tingling that says that the market, what it looks like is not what actually it is. The fundamentals are really messed up, overall messed up. We have this case in the Supreme Court about the tariffs, and there's military on the streets, and so many things that are going on which are not conducive for companies to perform very well. So I don't understand why this is going up so much unless there is stealth QE or something happening. SMCI is up 1.60. I have shorted SMCI. I'm expecting that SMCI will get a resistance at 40.10. It could potentially get a support at 38.79. It got support twice out there. We'll see what happens today. Market sentiment bearish, MACD bearish, momentum at the rock bottom. So probably it could get a little bit of dead cat bounce. And as I said before, what could happen here is a bit of consolidation, a foundation to be formed. Market sentiment has to turn bullish. That will allow MACD to become bullish. And then we'll start seeing the pickup in the momentum. Remember, they have not delivered on their earnings as well as EPS, as well as revenue. So it's not looking good at this point of time. This is more of a bear flag in my opinion. That's why I have shorted it. Broadcom is up 0.85% in pre-market trades. Will get support at around 346.66 today. Palantir is up 0.26%. It will get support today at 189.46. SMH is up 1.54%, and it's going to get resistance today at 364.06, and it could potentially get support at 351.83, failing which it could get a support at around 345.33. Tempus AI is up 1.31%. I'm going to wait for Tempus AI to come closer to 59.39 because our reverse head and shoulder pattern shows that it could go all the way below 59.39. So I'm going to watch that, and I would definitely buy some Tempus AI if it comes close to this. Overall, all the sentiments are bad and momentum is flat. So I don't think this 1.37 is going to last. It could also end up being a red candle at the end of the day. So with that said, I'm going to move on and look at Genomics. And in Genomics, I got Prime. Prime is up 1.28%. It's going to get support at 3.89. I'm going to mark this green. And we have confirmed this resistance. So now that we have broken out above this, the order of business for today is to close above yesterday's close. Yesterday's close was 3.92. So we have to close above 3.92 to confirm this support. If we do not confirm this support, then the next time we come close to this, we are likely to fall down. And our resistance for today is going to be 4.12. Next, we have Intelia, which is up 0.39% in pre-market trades. There is a gap down which needs to be filled up. And we have a huge bear flag out here. And I don't see any positive signs overall, so I'm going to be bearish on Intelia. Caribou Biosciences is up 0.45%. And I've got Caribou Biosciences. I'm looking for it. I'm rooting for it to go up. But when I look at the market sentiment, which is bearish, MACD, which is bearish, I'm not happy. I'm heartened by the fact that momentum is picking up a little bit. Hot Dog says, I agree, Raj. I'll get back into temp then too. Yeah, I'm thinking the same way. But if you have a change of opinion, please let me know so that I can reconsider and reevaluate the technical. Now, so far, fundamentals don't matter. I'm wary of the fact that at some point of time, fundamentals will start mattering. So we have to keep that in consideration as well. So give me a heads up when you decide to buy and let me see if I want to buy too. Now, they have their earnings coming up today. Probably they would have released it right now or maybe after hours. We don't know. I'd like to see what happens with the earnings because we have already fallen significantly. This is a huge bear flag and a topping tail as well. I wouldn't say a topping tail, it's a huge bear flag out here. And we have been creating the flag portion of it. This is the flagpole which came down. We are creating the flag portion of it. Typically bear flags have upward slope and bull flags have downward slope. So we are looking at the correct slope that is happening out here. Is it going to break out downwards, which is what it is most probable to do? We have to watch and we'll see what happens. I'm still in Caribou Biosciences, but I'm not that optimistic at this point of time. Beam is down 0.04%. It's a very bearish position right now. Altimmune is up 0.47%. It is still traveling on this diagonal line of support, which I've extended a little bit. And what I'm thinking is that we have a wedge pattern, which if I extend this wedge pattern, the wedge pattern is below this last green flag. And we are actually on a bear flag out here. So at this point of time, I'm thinking very hard, what does this mean? Does all this consolidation mean that probably we have built a base and we have market sentiment which is bullish, we have MACD which is bullish, we have momentum which is picking up, and we had earnings which was pretty good in my opinion. So given all those things, have we got enough juice to break out above this horizontal line of support? I think we do, and I'm going to hold on to my Altimmune shares and wait and see what happens. But for today, we have resistance at 4.41. We have Editas, which is up 2.63%, still a bear flag. Illumina is up 0.58%. We have this bullish Bennett out here, and today it's potentially likely to break out. If it breaks out, then I would like to see it confirm above this diagonal line of resistance. It will continue to get some support from this diagonal line of support. So it will be very interesting to see the formation. Are we going to get a very strong candle which breaks out? We'll see that today. Next, let us look at CRISPR Therapeutics, which is up 0.87%. The good earnings result did not help CRISPR in any way. I'm studying their earnings and I'm going to come up with a video either tomorrow or day after. Of course, it will be a bit late, but I was not well the day before and I just took my COVID and flu vaccines yesterday. So yeah, my arms are still sore and I'm feeling good at this point of time. Fingers crossed, everything goes well. The CRISPR video will be out soon, which is what most of our viewers want to look at. So that said, let's go on to Allogene. Allogene is up 1.21% in pre-market trades, and it is starting to show a little bit of life. There could be a potential reverse head and shoulder pattern, which will happen to be bullish. So I'm watching for that as well. So yeah, so I don't want to form any conclusions right now. I will say that I'm cautiously optimistic for Allogene. And then we have Grail, which is up 5.18% in pre-market trades. We have the earnings, which are due tonight. So I don't know what's going to happen to Grail. Right now, I would continue to insist that it is under this topping tail, which has not been extinguished. So it's a bearish context, and we have bearish context with the market sentiment. We have bearish context with the MACD. The only positive context is the above average momentum. So that's one. The other positive context is the fact that this was a bull flag. This was the flagpole for a bull flag. So those are the two positives. So the negatives outweigh the positives. So if we have some good earnings, I think we could break above this diagonal line of resistance, the horizontal line of resistance, confirm above it, and then take a shot at extinguishing this stopping tail. So let's wait for the earnings. PSEB is up 0.54% in pre-market trades. And at this point of time, it looks like a bear flag to me, or a bearish pennant. Let it form, and then we'll see. And I think that if I look at the other aspects out here, we got this market sentiment which has dropped significantly, MACD which is bearish, and momentum is just above average. Now the earnings that we had, the EPS came positive. That has given us a little bit of a boost on the momentum, and that has helped the MACD a little bit, but that has not translated into much as far as the market sentiment is concerned. So I'd like to see the market sentiment improve a little bit. So overall, I would say that we'll have to watch the developing candles out here. I don't get anything new out there. ARCG is up 0.66% in pre-market trades, and we had the reverse head and shoulder target which we already met. So I'm looking at this leg out here as a bear flag and this as a bearish pennant. So let us see how the other flags evolve. Right now, market sentiment, MACD, everything is bearish. Momentum is below average. Vertex is down 0.28%. It will continue to get support at 413.74. That's the support out there. And then if we look at Ginkgo Bioworks, it's up 1.42%, but it's going to get strong resistance at 9.37. And I insist that this is a bear flag in the formation. Let's go to Precision. Precision has got no trades pre-market. I want to buy somewhere around 3.65. That's what I'm waiting for. If it comes to 3.65, I'll definitely buy. Eli Lilly is up 0.61%. It's going from strength to strength. I love this. And I think there is no new pattern forming. So we are just forming a bull flag. The flag pole is being formed right now. We are not yet forming the pennant or the flag. So that's what I'm waiting for. All indicators are go, and I think that RSI also will have plenty of room to go up before it consolidates. So I'm pretty bullish on Eli Lilly. Then we look at Ultragenics, which is another share in which I'm invested and which is in a negative position right now. So we have no trades pre-market. Yesterday we went back above this diagonal line of support. So today we have to confirm by closing above 33.41. If we close above 33.41, I think we are on track. And Ultragenics will have some good news or the other from the FDA sooner rather than later, maybe before the end of the year. That's my expectation. RKT continues to disappoint, but these three green flags are giving me a little bit of optimism, but I don't want to do any jinxing. I'm going to keep my fingers crossed. Let the patterns develop and let them show me where it is going, because right now we still have a diagonal line which can limit this. So I don't want to jinx anything. I'm going to let the candles dictate where we are going to go. This was the bearish flagpole that we had. We have totally negated it, and I'm going to remove this as well. So we got something new forming out here. Let us give it a chance. And for this, I'm going to give a line of support out here. Pull it up. So I'll say this is a line of support, and where is the line of resistance? Let me put the line of resistance out here. This is the line of resistance. If we break out of this, then we'll talk about it. Now I have Pfizer as well, and Pfizer has been improving a little bit, but today pre-market is down 0.86. I'm still at a loss with Pfizer. I think Pfizer is a really good stock. I have plenty of Pfizer in my portfolio, and it's all in the negative. But I'm optimistic. Market sentiment has improved. MACD has also improved. Momentum has plenty of room. It's above average. And I'll collect some dividends for 3 cents. Not too bad. Not too shabby, as I say. And then let's go on to currencies. And in currencies, I'm looking at Bitcoin, which will move along with our index, so it's a positive today, but it still has a formidable resistance at 106,287. It's got a good support at 101,222. Ethereum also moves along with the index, so it's got resistance today somewhere around, let me just open this up, 3,604.61 is the resistance, and support is going to be 3,507. And if we look at XRP, which is the other thing that we are looking at, XRP is also moving with the index, but it's not looking that strong. It has got resistance at 2.52, and it could potentially get some support at 2.28. I do not have any new patterns being formed which can give me some bullishness, so I'll continue to watch for it. That's all we got here, my friends. And Hot Dog and Inf, do you have anything that you want to add, or do you have any stock that you want me to have a quick look at? Any trade ideas that I should check out for my own benefit? Please put that in, or else I think we are out for the day. We are done. Give you a few seconds for the lag time. Thanks guys, have a great day. Bye for now.